This story illustrates, I think, the way that narratives are a kind of thinking, sometimes quite an extended kind of thinking, and sometimes quite a short and to the point way of thinking. But this is a story about a quarrel between two neighbours, two old friends. They'd known each other for years and helped each other, and suddenly, over something completely trivial, something to do with a hedge or the boundary or a borrowed bucket or something, they completely fell out. They were at each other's throats. A fierce argument had broken out. Now, a third man, who was a friend to both these quarrelling neighbours, came along and said to them, "Look," he said, "this is ridiculous. You've been friends for years and now you're at each other's throats. I suggest that you go down to the wise man of the village, the arbitrator, and ask him to settle this problem for you, this dispute." So they agreed, and all three of them went down to the wise man of the village. So first of all, the first neighbour laid out his case, his view of the matter, his argument. And the wise man nodded sagely. He didn't say anything. Then the second quarrelling neighbour laid out his view of the case, and again the wise man nodded sagely. "Well," he said, "I've listened carefully to what you've both said." And turning to the first neighbour, he said, "And do you know," he said, "I think that you may be right." But then he turned to the second quarrelling neighbour, who had given the opposite version of events, and said to him, "But you know," he said, "I think that you may be right too." At which the third man, who'd brought the two quarrelling neighbours, in complete frustration burst out and said, "But they can't both be right." "Oh," said the wise man, "and I think you are right as well."